I am back. Um, so I let's see where we're at. We're 54 minutes in to our 3 hours. I stepped away, had myself some lunch, sat down a little bit, relaxed. I'm back now. I'm gonna be doing a little bit more design, not design, but thinking about how my program's gonna work before I pop back in. I'm gonna try to get another hour in, and in that hour, I'm gonna try and get like my basic scene finished and set up so I can click my food, have my conveyor belt, actually have something moving across the conveyor belt, have things going into the tray, have so like all of my scene stuff set up. But let's think a little bit first about what we're doing. So the first thing I need to program is going to be my conveyor belt generator. So I want to be able to quickly change the size of my generator or size of my conveyor belt, so that way I can make whatever sets I want. I don't want to deal with dragging and dropping stuff. So that shouldn't be too hard. But I have my conveyor belt generator. And so I'm gonna need it needs two things, I think, or maybe a little bit more than two things, but it needs to start out with at least two things. First thing is the conveyor belt. It's going to be the thing it duplicates over and over. It needs the conveyor belt end, and then there's going to be an input on it. Input length. So this is going to tell me how many times to duplicate this, and then I guess I need to add in a button to generate it. So I'm going to be using custom editor type. So I'm going to go look at the API for that real quick to refresh my brain before I start programming anything. So I've done this a couple times, but I don't remember the exact syntax I'm gonna need to do this custom editor with Unity. So I gotta go look up that before I get going. So I'm just gonna go look at a previous project I worked on. Let me get up. Just take some notes on it. Here's my Chrome. I'm gonna check out my old GitHub. I think it was. I don't have it bookmarked here. So my GitHub. Let's go to my repositories. It's a Robot Unity. Okay, so Robot Unity. I had sets robot controller tile grid. Nope, tile grid. CS. Okay, so I just wanted to review this here. So I'm gonna need, just wanna have a quick thought. So I'm gonna do Unity editor, and I'm gonna have to do custom editor type of, and then it's going to be my type here like that, and on inspector GUI spec for GUI. That's the magic method I need to write. Target is the magic variable, target. And I just need a couple things there. need to remember the trick. There was a tricky part that I didn't realize. I have to do this thing here. So I'm gonna need at the top begin editor GUI. So for it to register changing in the scene, I need to call this method. Otherwise it won't save between changing scenes, and if I exit, my prefab won't set change. So I gotta remember to do this. If editor GUI and it's supposed to be a D change check. Alright, so I'm just making a note to myself that inside of that I need to do editor scene manager mark scene 30 get active scene, get active scene. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to start writing this quick script here. So let's start my timer. All right, gonna start my timer up, and then I'm gonna start programming. All right, my stopwatch 54:50, so 55 minutes, 54:50. We just started. Let's go back to Unity. So we're in Unity. Where's my actual Unity window? Here we go. Okay, so a conveyor generator. Come over to my code here. Assets. Conveyor generator. This actually has nothing to do with the scene. This is just a script here for me to generate this on a public void generate belt and public game object belt public game object and public int link, and this actually needs to be a property. So I'm gonna edit link, and it's just gonna return a link. But the set, it's gonna have an actual setter here. It's not linked, and when it equals value, when we actually set it, we need to make sure if value greater than 1, or we'll just do less than 1, and link equal to 1. Else I'm just gonna have it ignore that. I'm gonna assume if I do that, an error return. Otherwise we set the link thing called generate. Okay, so that's the whole interface. Maybe I don't. Let's see, does link show up here if do I actually have to use my custom editor? I want it when I change the link for it to execute some stuff. Yeah, I have to use my custom editor. Okay. Or I'm just dumb and don't know how to get these things to communicate. That's okay. I know for sure serialize field, is that right? I should have done a little bit more research here. Serialized field serialize. And I think you only need to do this if it's private. So we'll make this serialize field. Looking at my other code, and yeah, it looks like I only did it on my private variables. Okay, so we got this. So then down here I'm gonna add in public class conveyor generator editor, and this is gonna be need to import using editor. I'm gonna make this extend custom editor, I believe. Nope, just editor. But it's going to use this type of conveyor generator. Okay, so this will make my custom on inspected GUI. I'm gonna override this to change it, and I have a conveyor generator. Generator equals, we're just gonna convert the magic variable that I'm inheriting called target. That is gonna be my thing. And I'm gonna do editor GUI begin check this. And then at the end, to make sure that I tell it that we should change the editor GUI.end change check. If this is the case, here, where's editor scene manager coming from? Editor scene manager is coming from editor scene manager dot mark scene dirty editor scene manager dot get. Okay, do my actual edits here. So this is gonna be generator dot belt, and this is an object. I'm gonna say that this is equal to editor GUI layout object field. This is our belt, and it's connected to our belt and type of object, and we want to be able to sit from the scene. So this lets us drag things from our scene in there. This, shrink that so I can see a little better. This is gonna be our end. And then the last one is our link. This one would do editor GUI layout load field. Same thing, generator dot link. Link. Cannot. Oh, this should be an int field. Okay. All right. And so to test it, I'm gonna put a little debug in here. Debug.log. This should output length. Okay. Make sure generate belt's being called. Have our script reload. Click on this here. Put 5 in. Sure enough, when I change this, it's gonna run that method. All right. Okay, so our conveyor belt Oh, I want to create empty. I'm just gonna call this container. This is gonna hold all of our generated things. Get rid of that. Add a thing here, public container. And just for simplicity, I'm just gonna add this in here. Easier. So I want to be able to delete all of these things. When it regenerates, I just need to empty out the container and regenerate it. All right, so our container is here. Add our container. Add our belt, and then when we get our I'm gonna have to make another animation. Sprites. It's our end of, yeah. End of belt. Okay. This. And I think it was 315. How far does it? 5 magic. 314. 315 is a little too far. 314. We'll go with 314. I hate how bad that floating point number is. That's not gonna multiply well, but we'll see how we do. So this becomes our end element. I'm already seeing a gap there. One. Two seems okay. All right, here we go. Looking okay. Save that. And as we edit this, what's nice is our conveyor over here gets updated because it's a prefab. All right, let's come back to our conveyor. Now we want to get one more thing here. Public float width. This is just going to be for me. If I end up changing something, I need to be able to update that distance really easily. 312. So this is how much it's going to shift everything to the right as it adds these things in. All right, so when we generate a belt, first thing we need to do is we need to empty the container out. So I wrote in a previous project here, I have in this project here, I wrote some resources, utilities, Unity utils. So we're just gonna suck this file in here. Gonna create a folder, colored, new file, utils. We're just gonna still this. This makes it easy to destroy children. Yeah. We shouldn't destroy children, but in Unity it's okay. So that's children object, not actual children. Okay. So it turns out it's a little tricky. You want to empty all of the elements from an object. So I wrote a little utility here that will do it. So in our conveyor generator, I'm just gonna import my colored class. Oh, we gotta go back to Unity so it'll rebuild. Colored should show up. There it is. Okay. And we're going to we call generate. We're gonna do colored dot. Oh, I don't need colored. Unity utils dot destroy immediate children. It's gonna take in a transform, so container dot transform. That should empty out that container when generate's called. Then we need to loop through. So we're gonna do something int I 0, I is less than length, I plus. We're gonna add these children. So I need to unity engine object instantiate game objects. We're gonna just clone our belt several times. Belt, and just test out the container belt dot parent equals container dot transform, and we're gonna put it into there, and then we need to shift it over by its amount. So then belt dot transform dot translate, we're gonna push it to the right on the x-axis. It's going to be width times I, and it's going to want me to float. Nothing on the y-axis, and z-axis is that. There we go. All right, let's see how we do. So I've got my conveyor. If I want it to be 10, there we go. Adds in 10, get 10 children. If I change it, 1, 10, 100. Sweet, not too bad. 5. Okay, so I'm gonna make these inactive, and I'm gonna test when it clones it. Does it set them to inactive? Yeah, so now I just gotta make sure that they're active when they get cloned. Belt dot set active through. So that's gonna be my belt, and then the very last one, I just need to, there we go. The very last thing I need to do is, after we go through this whole thing, I just need to create a int clone of this int, and do the same thing here. And this should be 5. Did it convert that? All right, I actually don't need this here. And if all goes according to plan, 6, 5. Okay, length -1. Okay, that, don't need the output anymore. There we go. So this makes a nice, in whatever size I need my conveyor belt to be. Super easy. If I need multiple conveyor belts of different sizes, I just edit. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, did I crash? Interesting. Do I just gotta set this, this? Oh, this doesn't have 10? Huh. That is interesting. I was really hoping this would duplicate. Oh, here, I got an error. Destroying a game object instead of a prefab instance, it's not allowed. Okay, so I just gotta make my prefab have that. A little annoying, but not a huge issue. I would probably find a better way to do this. All right, so let's see what 25 looks like. Ugh. Go on my prefab, come on. Enter prefab mode. 5. What? Ugh. Okay. I don't like what's happening. This was supposed to be simple. Null pointer. I don't understand. I don't get what's there. Belt. End of your belt. Container. Just the serialized thing, not. Null reference. Okay, I am getting. You really want to move, and that's use destroy immediate. Oh, I am using destroy immediate. What is it talking about? All right, this is. Ugh. All right, debug time. Okay. Destroying acid is not permitted on line 52. Hang on, I need to change this real quick. It's not letting me show my Visual Studio Code. There it goes. Okay, here we go. All right, so line 52, it's telling me an asset is not permitted to avoid data loss. If you want to remove an asset, use destroy immediate. Exactly what I'm doing. I was doing this to save time. It looks like it's gonna cost me time instead. I don't know why these are all. What is? Okay, abandoning this thought. I'm just gonna really quickly rebuild my. I'm gonna take all of this, copy it, and just move it into my main scene because it is doing something incredibly weird. This prefab. Okay, that prefab. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why I can't move this. Oh, I need to put this inside. Create empty. Parent. Okay, so now I can move that freely. And my conveyor belt. Okay, but I can move the parent. Okay, so at the edge of my screen, we're gonna have a conveyor belt, and let's just I gotta transform local. All right. This is where if I knew Unity a little bit better, I wouldn't run into this type of trouble. So rather than translate, I'm just gonna do a set directly dot local position equals new vector 2, and I can drop that. We're just gonna, should be times length. Okay. Okay, so that should be, I think it was setting it relative to, there we go. Now it's gonna always do it. So if I put this here, I don't like lines aren't showing up nice. I think it's just when I am at the correct one zoom or something. That's okay. What does the animation look like first though? It's okay. I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't look a little bit better, but we've spent a little too much time on this. Let's make our conveyor belt the length that we need it to be. Go 45. And let's add in our tray. Okay. Whew. All right, I got that done. Sprites. We're gonna put our tray at the end here. So the burger is gonna move across that. We have our scanner. Right. When the burger gets here, it will either scan. Maybe let's make it so it comes here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. In the tray. All right, I'm not gonna worry about the scanner for now. Just delete burger checkbox. It's gonna just move across. Let's get these centered. Conveyor parent, the Y position. Let's move it to 3. The tray. Oh no, I don't understand anything about Unity's positioning system. Why? Is this inside? No. Ugh. Oh, it's because it's from the top left corner. Okay. Yeah, it's centered with that, so it's from the top left corner of it though. So I thought I was being smart doing that, but I wasn't. Let's go back to the sprite editor. Let's move this to the center. When we sliced it, pivot. They'll count 5 columns, 1 row, center. Apply. Everything's gonna, yeah. Do the same thing here. Slice. Center. Just 4. Slice. Apply. Okay. Alright. 3. Still not centered the way I want it to, but whatever. Okay. Let's move both of these things down. There. Okay. Now we are gonna end up with, that's not bad. Okay. The next thing I need to do is I need to get my ingredients across the top. So we start with the burger bottom, and I'm gonna put a plate out on the conveyor belt. I wish, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit annoying to position stuff. All right, so we need these. Let's align these across the top. Patty. Bottom. Sauce. Sauce. Patty. Cheese. Lettuce. Pickles. Top of the bun. Okay, so let's see if we get probably some nice tools to like align and distribute stuff, but these really gonna, okay, those ones are gonna align. I don't know. I select create empty, gonna be our ingredients. Just put all these in, bottom one in. Let's shift all of these to 0. And slide them up. Hot buns super far. Okay. All right, let's add box colliders to all these. So I need to be able to click on these. So box collider 2D. I wish it auto detected. Okay, we can shrink it down. Box collider 2D. Doesn't have to be perfect, just want to make sure that it's not overlapping with other elements. And cheese. Box collider 2D. Side. Realizing right now I am gonna have to make a background graphic. I don't have to, but I want to make a background graphic so that it's not just this ugly blue background, but we'll see how much time I have. Some tasty lettuce. Pickles. Right. Let me get my face on here. Realized that my face wasn't here. Shrink it down. Here we go. All right, let's finish up here. We're at 1 hour 26 minutes, so not too bad, but I think I'm a little behind, especially with adding. I want to add sound and a start menu. So we're gonna see, need to get a playable thing first. So hopefully in the next 30 minutes I can get a playable game, and then try and get the last hour just doing a little bit of polish on it. Come on. My mouse dexterity is terrible. Fun. Add component box collider. I need to make it so when I click on these, so there should be one script for all of these, and make it so when I click on it, it's going to create a new object which is attached to my mouse. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new empty object, and this is just going to be the sprite that's on mouse, mouse sprite. Okay, and it's gonna have a single image on it, so we can start out just adding in a sprite like that, and it's gonna actually not have any image on it. And then when you click on it, that is gonna be the sprite that gets rendered. So mouse sprite is, there's gonna be a script on this that just follows my mouse around, updating, and then this is going to be centered on that. And when I click on any one of these, it's going to update this sprite. So let's see if we can get a script real quick. on this. So we're gonna do this. This is in our design document, what did I call it? In our design document, this is our ingredient controller. So ingredient, scripts. Gotta create a new script. Ingredient. New script. And one word. Folder. Create and add. Move it into our scripts. Hop back over here. And void on click. I would have to look up that method name. Unity on click 2D box. Unity the box provider 2D click. Intent click and a 2D. On mouse down, public on mouse down. All right, let's try this. Debug.log clicked. Okay. Yeah, okay. Clicking outside doesn't do it, but clicking in it does it. Okay. So next thing, format, clean that up. Let's add in a public sprite. It's gonna be the target. And we have a public sprite. Okay. So the sprite to copy can probably auto-generate this to just be like, find the sprite inside of me. But let's come over. I'm gonna add target sprite renderer. That one, I think it's actually gonna be a sprite, so. We don't want to actually copy it. We want to take the sprite out of it. Bottom of fun, target, and we're going to copy sprite. And I guess I do. Right. Renderer. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. We're going to see how we do. We have this, and our sprite render is this. All right, so let's try target dot sprite equals to copy dot sprite. Sure enough, updates it. Okay, so let's get our mouse sprite. Then create a new script, mouse follower, and we're gonna get it to follow our mouse around the screen. And mouse follower. So this is gonna be in our update. We're just constantly updating. And I'm not sure how to get the mouse position, so I'm gonna Google it real quick. So we got Unity, get mouse, position in world. I convert the mouse position to world space in Unity. See what it says. Quick scan, quick scan. Oh my god. Camera main dot screen. Okay, so do I need camera dot main dot screen to world point input dot mouse position? Okay. Wonder if I can just my mouse follower I should just do this dot transform dot position input dot mouse position. Let's see how that does. All right, yep, it's a mouse follower. Click on it. Where are you? So yeah, I need to translate it to our world position so that it is, should have stopped that. Let's test. And seems to be updating. I see in my transform it's going crazy. Still not set properly. Let's disable it, move it to the center, make sure it's back on. Why is the Z set to -10? Okay. Oh, it's because the camera's at -10? Okay. So let's do this. Vector 2 equals this. Mouse pause. See if that drops the Z part. Yeah, all right, now our Z isn't changing. I should click on this. All right. And we just need to make sure that it is in front of that, so the Z probably needs to be like 1. Oh, it's gonna reset it always. Okay, so our Z does need to be up so it shows up on top of the plate. So then we'll just do a vector 3, shifted, new vector 3, mouse pause Y, and we'll just put it on 5 to be safe. Magic numbers are dangerous, but we're quick. We're quick. Hour 35 in. So I'm gonna try and get another, getting close to having. Why is that not high enough? Hello? Where? Our plate. That's fascinating. Why is it? Our plate. Like that. Our conveyor parent. I'm not understanding why that's showing up under. All right, we're just gonna have this be the original, so I can play with it. I'm just gonna do this transform position Z. So I'm just gonna copy the previous Z so I can play with it and see if I can figure out what's going on. That's super frustrating. So now I'm on top. Oh, am I going the wrong way? Should it not be? All right, I'm just gonna set it up. All right, I want it to be -7 1.14. -7 1.4 and 5. What the heck? Go to 3D view. It is. Yeah, I did that. Okay, so it is on top. 0 is behind -1. Okay, so I need to be negative. So we're just gonna set it -5. Better solution. Let's keep this on mouse pause. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually change I'm gonna add a parent object and make that parent object or have it just copy the position over. And I'm just gonna set it to -1 here. -1. Okay, game view, run it. Click. Okay, we're on top. Okay, getting close. Let's copy this this script to each one of these things. I guess I need to set. I need to keep track of which objects I've clicked on. So in my mouse follower script, is that what I want to do? Maybe I'll just, when I click on these, I need to update. Okay, so I need to make a quick enum here. Ingredient controller, public enum ingredient. The ingredient here, I've got bottom bun sauce, patty, cheese, lettuce, pickles, tomato, top, bun. Okay, so now this, I need to specify the type, public ingredient type. So when I click on these, so now my type, I can specify which type it is on each one. So let's copy component and paste component. Paste component is new, so I'm gonna add component new. New. The word. Component is new. Okay, so I got these. I need to go through in each one. It would be nice if I didn't have to specify the target. So I'm gonna actually go through and have this be private. No, that one should be public. 2 copies should be private. And I'm just gonna load it up on start. And it's gonna determine it based on the component it's attached to. So it's gonna say this dot get component. Oh, this is a method. This dot get component sprite renderer. All right, then this dot to copy equals. And then I'm gonna throw an exception if this dot to copy is null. So if it doesn't find one, go do exception. We're just gonna have an error saying couldn't initialize ingredient controller sprite render found, and then it's gonna just print out the object. So hopefully that'll be helpful. Probably will never need this, but I'm putting it there just in case something weird happens. It'll be easier to debug later. Hit play. I can now select my types. Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. All right, so now I want to get my plate moving across the conveyor belt. So my plate should, I'm gonna have to have like a plate controller script, and the plate will start off the screen, slide onto the screen, and it's gonna stop there. So I'm gonna add a couple, a waypoint for it, so that way I don't have to like type in this code. So this is gonna be tray or end of conveyor or plate waypoint. And I'm just gonna back to 2D view. It's gonna move this, the center of our plate here, to the, that's right. This is because, oh, maybe not. All right, so this is gonna end up here. So the waypoint, this. Okay. So the plate is gonna move across the conveyor. So we're just gonna add in plate roller. All right, so we got our plate, and this is actually gonna be our food builder script. As the plate, we add things to it. So I'm gonna actually, yeah, food builder. Open up our food builder script. Set a speed to it, so we got a public float speed. Gonna start. Let's try 10. See what 10 looks like. And in our update, we're gonna do this transform dot translate. We're just gonna shift. Well, we want it to shift to the right. Yeah, shift to the right. Or to speed 0 times delta time. So it's gonna slowly shift to the right now by the speed amount. And then the maximum, it's gonna stop when it gets to the tray. So let's move our tray if we need to. Ooh, 10 is fast. All right, so the plate's gonna start at a speed of 1. There we go, nice and slow. And then let's add in a public transform waypoint. And our waypoint happens to be at waypoint. So we're gonna make it so that way if if I'm just gonna create a temporary variable real quick called vector2 current position new equals transform dot position if per position dot x is less than, so if we're less than our waypoint dot position x. That's interesting. Not sure if it's gonna work right because I think that's global position. So if it's less than, it's gonna shift it over, and then it's also gonna have an else if per position dot x is greater than. And then we just have a cleanup actually down here. I need an else if per position dot x is greater than waypoint. Okay, so after we translate it, we want to do this check too. And this dot transform dot position is equal to point dot position. So if we go past it, we just set it equal to it. Let's test it out. Put our y, our waypoint. Okay. Moving across, move a little faster, please. Go plate. The Z position. Oh man, this is just like super annoying that the Z position stuff gets set this way. It's got to cast this to a vector too. So that way it stays in its correct position. There we go. All right, slides on there. There will be a little check when it gets there. And if the check, all right. So now I just gotta, air belt's looking like it's going backwards. Okay. So, double click, save. We're at 1 hour and 48 minutes. I need to make it so I can add my ingredients onto my plate by clicking on it. So my plate, my food builder class, I need to add in a box collider 2D. And perfect size on it. Close enough. Maybe I shrink it down a little bit to make it a little bit harder. Even do a circle collider. Is there a circle collider? Circle collider 2D. There we go. Make it so you gotta click in there a little bit better. Alright, so you gotta click in the middle of the plate. So now we got a public. So we're gonna have a list of ingredients on here. Public list of ingredient. List of ingredients. Ingredients. And new list. Go ahead and make a new list here. Public. I guess it could be for some quick testing stuff, but I'm feeling confident, ambitious. All right, public. Mouse down. On mouse down. Thanks. All right, on mouse down. So we're getting on the mouse down. We need to check which ingredient we have. So we need to make it so when we do these clicks here, this isn't just a mouse sprite. This is like, this is gonna be our player control. All right. So mouse follower, add player. Oh, need to create a new script. Player controller, and player controller needs to have a current ingredient, public ingredient, current ingredient. And by default, can I set enums to null? Not null, so I need one of my ingredients types needs to be a none. So that way I can have it be null. By default, it's none. Okay. Need to be able to set that, so when I make a click. Alright, so when I click on the, this is my ingredient controller. My ingredient controller needs a reference to public player controller. I need a reference to the player controller. And at the start, might have to update all these now. Probably a nice way to, oh, bottom bun. Sauce. Patty. Cheese. Lettuce. Pickles. 1 tomato. Come on. Click on you. Tomato. And a bun. There's probably some way I could use a tag. Add player controller. Make it so I can easily find it. Okay, let's try. I've never used tags before, but I hear they're not great. So I'm just gonna make the player controller private, and at the start we're saying this dot player controller equals get tag scene. All right, let's Google it. Go to Chrome, Unity, get object by tag. Game object that find game objects with tag. Returns an array. Okay, so game object that find game object with tag player. And I'm actually gonna create a static value here in our player controller. Public static beautiful tag. Need only tag. Player. Okay. Player can I implicitly convert? Can I there these? No. Alright, so I'm gonna have to convert it to controller. Oh, is it not gonna? Oh, it's gonna give me back a game object. Hit on it. All right, so just to test it, I'm gonna make this public. And then when I run it, I should be able to, when I click, not even when I click, I should just be able to look at these. Yeah, it has my player controller assigned to each one. Okay, so now I'm gonna be able to click over here and use my player controller. So my plate, my food builder also needs a reference to my player controller. So private player controller, player controller. And I mean, honestly, this is a little silly. I should just be using a static method over here to get itself. I'm gonna do that public static player controller get instance. And then this line here. Jet. Okay, just do that. Then when I need it, all right, so on mouse down, I do that, and then I do player controller dot get instance dot current ingredient equals type. Let's rename this capital C. Save food builder global singletons on mouse down ingredients dot add player controller dot get instance dot current ingredient, and then this should only be if player controller dot get instance dot current ingredient is not equal to none. So what I'll actually do is I'll check if it is equal to none, then we're just gonna do nothing. Otherwise we get it, and then we need to be able to update it. So then we're gonna, after we've done it, we're gonna set it equal none. Okay. We also need to update our sprite renderer to not have anything. So we need a reference to our sprite renderer here. So if I was doing this right, I'd have it be in the player controller, have like a set sprite or set ingredient. When you set the ingredient, it does it. But I am at 1 hour 58 minutes, so I'm just gonna hack it in here. Public sprite renderer food sprite. Okay, and we're gonna do food sprite dot sprite equals null. I think that's how you clear it out. So we're gonna add it in there. We're gonna have another. This is a little. I hate how hacky this is getting, but I want to in our plate. It's our food sprite. Okay. There's it out. Okay. So that is working. Let's get it to add those things to it. So now we need to have a private. We need to add a game object with a sprite attached to it in here. So this is going to be okay, so let's add a container, and this container public object transform is what I want. Container. Right, set our container here, and if we have this, our container is going to get a new, so we're going to spawn, before we clear out the sprite, we want to spawn, just going to quick method spawn or add component, and the component, this dot add component, food sprite dot sprite. So we're gonna add a new game object into the container, public add void add component sprite renderer. Okay, so we actually have to create a new game object. So game object new or n geo equals or obj new game object. Can I give it a name in here? Yeah, the name is gonna be we're just gonna leave the name for now. And obj dot add component renderer, like that. Can't add a renderer. Cannot convert from add component sprite renderer. Oh man, how do I take no overload? Okay, so we're gonna add. Okay, got it. Sprite renderer, new renderer. That's what we're doing. The new renderer dot sprite equals. I'm gonna change this to the incoming sprite. What is the data type here? Sprite. So we're just copying the sprite, not the actual thing there. And the new renderer dot parent transform dot parent equal to container. I'm gonna go ahead and add it in there. Okay. Let's see. Test it out. Okay. It's adding it in. I'm gonna have to do something special for that one. I don't know why they're getting added that way. I think I'm gonna have to set their local position to be 0. Okay, so after edit new renderer, or not new renderer. That's what it's obj. This obj dot transform dot local position equals new vector 2 0 0. Two hours and 3 minutes. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. I don't like the way the sauce looks yet, but look at that. Oh man, and then we put the top on. Boom, boom. All right, so we got a little basic game thing going here. I'm super, super happy with how far I made it here. I'm gonna go ahead and save. I think I'm gonna take another break here. Let me stop my timer. I'm at 2 hours, 3 minutes, 57 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me switch to my document cam. Dot cam. I need to figure out how to get my webcam and my dot cam to work at the same time. Okay, so let's take a little note here on all that I have accomplished this hour. So I'm I'm feeling super happy. I'm gonna make a commit real quick. Hour 2. Completed basic game framework. Okay, I'm gonna really have to hunker down if I want to get any sounds and stuff into this. I'm probably not gonna have any sounds, which is a little disappointing. But let's go over to the dot cam. Let's take a little notes for our devlog here. All right, so we are now at hour 2. We've 3:57. So about, let's see, about an hour and 10 minutes to get that last section done. So I want to added. All right, let's take a look at what I added. I added in quite a few things here. Bunch of scripts. Oh, that's what happened. I got stuck on my conveyor belt script for like 20 minutes. So wrote conveyor belt script to quickly generate any length belt. That would have been such a painful chore to deal with had I not done that. So I'm glad I did that. I just wish it hadn't taken 20 minutes. I'm gonna go back and watch it, but if I hadn't done the prefab part of it, probably would have taken me 10 minutes, would have cut 10 minutes off there. So I have to keep it in mind for later. I don't know why I decided to make it a prefab. All right. Added ingredients panel, which seems to be working pretty well. I also, oh, let me go back to my dot cam here so people can see what I'm writing. So I added ingredients panel, added player controller, added ingredient controller, so I can click on my elements and drag them from there, keep track of the types, and then added plate / food builder, so I can actually I'm gonna wait. I can actually add things to my food builder, and then my plate stops at my tray. Okay, so something I just realized I should check that check what happens if I add, so if I add more of same items. Okay. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping as it adds it in there, it'll just show up on top. I'm pretty happy that I was able to do that in about an hour. About 1 hour and 10 programming. So now I need to think a little bit about the last hour. So I got about an hour left to do it. What's left? What's left? So I have 55 minutes remaining. I need to add order script. So burger order coming in. What elements to add to burger? I think to keep things simple, start with basic burger that takes one of everything. All right. And just get it working with one of everything. So on success, increment score plus increase speed. So the speed's gonna keep getting faster each time you finish a burger. So on success, you increase the score, increase the speed, add text LMs for this. So I'm gonna have to add in some text elements for that. On failure, I'm not gonna decrease the score, but add or increase failed score, something like that. If number missed greater than n, game over. All right, so that, and then have text elements, text LMs for this. So add in some text elements for that. On the failure, add in some text element, add start / restart button. And then if I get all this done, get these things done, then I am ready. It's playable at that point. It's a game. MVP, minimum viable product. That is playable at that point. So not the best game ever, but not bad for 3 hours maybe. Assuming I get that done. I got 55 minutes left. That's not the easiest thing to do. But I'm gonna take a break. Not sure if I'll be back tonight. I might be back tonight, but I got 55 minutes left. I might wake up in the morning and finish this off. Anyway, anyone who watched, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.